I'm Shanice.
And I'm Yanni.
And we are Her Esteam.
And we are here today in the No Shade Zone with our girl T.
And you are tuned into Comic Story. What's going on, everybody? I'm T, the queen of the sauce, and this is episode 5 of the No Shade Zone. I'm here with my girls from Her Esteam, and as you can see, they're wrapping me up for Yoni's theme. And I'm gonna let them, introduce themselves and explain to y'all what a Yoni's theme is.
I'm Yanni.
I'm Shanice.
And this is a Yoni's theme.
Right. So for the people who don't know what a Yoni's theme is, like explain to them what are the benefits of having a Yoni's theme.
So one of the main reasons that actually brought our attention to Yoni's themes is infertility, which is a big issue in the African American community, and that's something that we wanted to help heal because we were unfertile ourselves. I now have a 1-year-old daughter, so the proof is in the pudding. That's one of the things that can help tighten up your uterine muscles. It can help heal different illnesses of the vagina. It can help prepare your womb for bearing a child in the future. It's something you don't want to do when you're pregnant. What are some of the other benefits, Yanni?
So it helps with your menses, which is your menstrual cycle. It can help regulate it. It helps to ease your back cramping, because I have terrible cramps. I mean, it goes up my back, down my leg. And from Yoni steaming, I've seen a huge difference. What it does is the herbs have oils, and when they're infused with the steam, with the water, and it heats up, the oils are released into the vaginal area via the steam.
And I can attest to that too. This is not my first Yoni's theme. The first one that I had, I can definitely say my flow, was way lighter, and I will say my cramps weren't as bad. Yeah. I will say it was like an experience from like head to toe. Like I just felt like I wasn't as sluggish as I was. Like my body just felt better.
It definitely is energizing.
Yeah.
So as she was saying about how it helped her to feel more energized or revitalized her body and her system, it does have major spiritual components to it as well, benefits. One of them being is this is your sacral chakra, and it governs the reproductive organs, and that's the testes and the ovaries. A lot of the times we go out into the world and we don't have this type of knowledge, so we give ourselves to people in relationships, and we hold a lot of energy within there. So the Yoni steam does help release that stagnant energy, and any of your past partners or any energy from past events or moments in your life revolving around relationships where you feel it was your lowest point. So any intense emotions that you experience in regards to a relationship, it helps for you to release that. So it definitely has spiritual properties and benefits to it.
So we talked a lot about the benefits to Yoni's themes, but there's a lot of myths about Yoni's themes. Yeah. So kind of talk to some of the things that people think Yoni's themes do, but it's not really that.
One of my biggest things that gets on my nerves is like I bring up a Yoni's theme and they're like, well, what's Yoni mean? And I'm like, oh, it has to do with the vagina, the womb, and people instantly are, oh, y'all nasty, y'all freaky. And yes, it does help you with secretion, but that's not all it is. It's not. Yeah, it helps you with secretion and tightening it up, but it's not all just about that. Those are the bonuses about it.
And I mean, those help with those things, but if you aren't eating right, if your diet isn't, I would say, an alkalized diet, or you're not eating
what is an alkalized diet? A lot of people don't know what alkalized is, so break that down in the short term.
An alkalized diet is a diet where you're eating all electric foods, which are things. Electric foods are ones that give energy to your body. So,
electrolytes. Think about a Gatorade or a Pedialyte, but those are loaded in sugar and they're unnatural. So using different fruits and herbs that naturally have high electrolytes and are naturally alkaline, those types of things are going to basically keep your body balanced. Think of your body as a test tube, and you have a pH balance in that test tube. And adding those different fruits and herbs are definitely going to help keep that balance.
An alkalized diet, if you're consistent with it, you're going to reap the benefits of Yoni steam sooner, rather versus if you're eating meat consistently. And if you're eating hybrid vegetables like broccoli, because broccoli creates a smell down.
And I love broccoli.
I know everyone says that. And
Broccoli is my favorite.
You know,
like,
that was
and
like
it
my
makes me
first
so sad.
vegetable love.
Well,
Yeah.
try that out for Brussels sprouts.
Nobody like Brussels sprouts.
She was not feeling that.
Look, nobody like Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are good. She makes some mean Brussels
Yes,
sprouts.
I do.
Well, I'm
It's all
going to
about-
take Shanice's Brussels
Yes,
sprouts.
it's
then.
all about the sauce and how crispy you make it.
So the name of your company is Her Esteem.
Yes.
So how did that name come about? Because I know you all help men also.
Yeah.
But how did
Yeah.
that name come
His
about?
Esteem. Coming soon.
Right, coming soon. No, Her Esteem actually took us a while to come up with something that really spoke to us, and when we came up with that name, it really spoke to us. Like,
Yeah.
for example, it's Her Esteem. So if you notice, the esteem part is spelled incorrectly,
Yeah.
but we try to heal your esteem through steam. So that's where.
Yes, it's basically like self-esteem. So
Mhm.
we're not just providing a service to you because we're saying, hey, this works and you should do it. No,
No.
we're also providing another service to you, and it's connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting deeper with you and letting you know that this theme is not just to enhance your sexual life, it's to enhance you as a person, which it can. And that's what we teach through it. So we want to help build her self-esteem through steaming.
And besides steaming, because that's not the only service that
No,
y'all
we
do,
do,
so
right.
what are some of the other services or products that you all offer?
So we also have a sweat detox. We use a tent, and we go inside. We also use the same system with the steaming for the pot, but we put the steam pot inside of the tent with us. We add in different herbs, cleansing herbs that are used to help promote healthy skin and everything, and healthy hair. And we go inside the tent, and we not only do we sweat, but we also sweat out our problems. We do meditation. We we speak about issues. We tell stories, things that have been bothering us, and then we do affirmations on how we want to set our lives and how we want to go forward from here. And yeah, you did the tent.
Yeah.
Tell them how it was.
And I could definitely say the tent was a wonderful experience. Because a lot of people in this society, we rely a lot on psychologists and different things like that. People who just want to prescribe us medications and just kind of dope us up and have us in a trance.
Right.
But the sweat tent for me was a natural way to really like release everything that I had been holding on to.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, as we were doing it, like the sweat, like as I'm saying what I'm saying, like the sweat was just pulling everything out of me. And so it's definitely, one of those things I would say before you go see a shrink, try to deal with it naturally because, nobody wants to be doped up on medication all the time, So it definitely was a very liberating experience for me. Since then, my mind has been clear. Like that weight that I felt like I was carrying, it was gone,
That's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed that.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was awesome. So you all, you do the Yoni themes. We talked about the sweat tent, and then you also offer herbal baths.
Yes.
I didn't try that one yet, but
Yes.
what are those for?
All right. So the herbal baths, all of like we mentioned before about alkalized herbs, everything is alkalized. So the herbal bath, we can design an herbal bath specific to you. So for example, I'm having a really bad headache right now, and I've been feeling sick. And Yanni's going to do a herbal bath for me. Have different herbs that are going to help with those different ailments that I have. So it's basically designed specific to you, is what it is. Yeah.
And what it does is, again, we use the meditation, affirmations, candles, incense, also crystals. We can come to you and set it up because, that's your energy you want to harbor in your own home. And that's your safe space as well. But what it does is similar to the sweat detox and the yoni steaming. It helps you to release. You're pouring that water on you. It's like a libation. You're releasing that. You're thanking yourself, and you're being grateful for the universe and all the things you've been through this your life period. And you're releasing the stresses of the day or the stresses of the week or the month. In that moment, you're just releasing it as you're washing that water. I don't want to stretch it or reach and offend anybody by saying it's similar to a baptism. But the water, just think of how the water is cleansing. That's what you're doing in that moment.
So is this like a service that you will like? This is a service, or do you sell it separate to where they can do it on their own, or how does that work?
We sell it separate. Where you can buy the blend from us alone, but you can also basically order for us to come to your home, and we will set the whole vibe and ambiance up for you. We will say that affirmations for you. It'll like a girl time almost, like, and it's very
time.
Yeah, we're guys time if you're interested in it, but it's very relaxing, and it feels good to be in the presence of other like-minded women and that kind of energy in that kind of space. So I do recommend having us come to you, because we can actually give your space that ambiance that you need to fully relax.
And also, if you're unfamiliar with it, it helps you to get comfortable with it, so that you're able to do it on your own.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So you sell the herbal, for the herbal baths, but you also make drinks and things like that. So what type of drinks and different type of, ailments that these drinks can cure, and kind of speak to some of the people that you helped already, like with different conditions?
So the juices, waters, and teas, they have been broken down. They all are specific to your reproductive organs. We do have one that's a full body cleanse, like the full body cleanse called Cleanse Me Out Detox. Honestly, they all touch and they do kind of the same thing. They just have different flavors. Like the man juice is called a man mango. If you don't get that,
Man mango.
The juices, waters, and teas, they all are helping to the body in its natural detoxification process. Each of them are designed to do a specific thing, but initially they all aid the body in hydration. I've had multiple people tell me, you're selling this. I just had a customer actually today talk about it's a man mango juice, and it helps to increase the man's libido. And he said, I know what you're selling it for, but it also works as a hangover juice. I drink this every morning. I'm feeling good. I'm like, well, but
right.
That's the company that
right.
We'll have a water detox. That one's specific to helping the secretion or lubrication of the woman's vagina. It has grapefruit in it.
Well, I know we talked a lot about the ones that help our sexual reproductive organs and things like that, but you all do drinks as far as like helping diabetics.
Yeah.
And you told me about somebody that was having, was it lupus or something that you were telling me about? So kind of speak to those conditions, because there's a lot of people who have, conditions like those as well, that you can help out.
So that's another service also. It's like a consultation. So if you do have other ailments that that are not reproductive geared, and you want to talk to us about it, that's something that you can speak to us about. Just write us, let us know. But I do drinks for like a kidney flush,
Her diabetic tea,
the diabetic tea, which will help to regulate your blood sugar levels. And then the Cleanse Me Out, where I talk about that one's a full body detox, because my dad, he has issues like with sleeping and breathing, and the moment that he drank that tea, which he gets on my nerves for, because he's like harassing me for all this time, it helped him sleep. My mom said he stopped coughing as much. It also helps to fully detoxify your body, but my dad, he was having issues breathing and sleeping. So
that'll help a lot of people who have sleep apnea, gotta sleep with like the CPAP machines and stuff like that.
Exactly. And he was always coughing, so he said it reduced it, because what it's doing is reducing the inflammation, and it's trying to drain off the mucus. And that's what it's doing, because an overproduction of the mucus, in the words of Dr. Sebi, is where the disease starts, because it holds on to that. So you want to be sure that you are clearing the mucus out of your body, and that's mostly what all of our drinks are geared to, that are outside of the reproductive sector. The ones that are custom to your needs are mainly going to help you reduce the mucus in your body and inflammation.
So I can speak to using the diabetic tea. It definitely helped. Actually, what I did was went and got my meter and everything like that, so I could check it to make sure that it was working. And I tested it against one of my medications that I use. So I actually used one of the medications, and I checked my blood sugar like 30 minutes later to see, how it had affected me. And it really didn't seem like my sugar was coming down at all. And then that was on the medication. And then what I did was I was drinking the tea every morning. So once I would drink the tea, 30 minutes later, like I did with the medication, I would check the blood sugar, and it seemed like the tea actually helped my blood sugar go lower than the medication was. It took way longer for the medication
to kick in.
Yeah, way longer. So definitely, you know, that diabetic tea is good, and the other tea that I tried was the
Insomniac.
tea. Yeah,
Insomniac.
First of all, I'm an insomniac for real, and that tea knocked me out. Okay, I slept like a rock when I drank that tea.
It's amazing.
So that's way better than taking like Advil PM, because with those you wake up with drowsiness and things like that. But with these teas and things like that, they're natural. You don't wake up with feeling sluggish and weighed down.
You wake up energized. You feel like you had a full night's sleep. Yes.
So you mentioned like Dr. Sebi. So a lot of your teaching, like a lot of the things that you all do, you know, revolve around his teachings and things like that. So kind of explain how you all got opened up into that world of, you know, learning from him, and just kind of give them the definition of holistic healing.
Okay. Well, for me, I got introduced to it by my aunt and my mom. They're full vegans now currently, and they started their journey off with Dr. Sebi. So the whole time they were doing their journey, they were telling me about all of this, trying to teach me different ways I could implement those types of things into my life to help heal different things. And they were very dedicated to it. They followed the page on Facebook. They bought cookbooks on alkalized things. So I was just surrounded by it, basically, to be able to learn so much about it. And then, you know, I passed that information on, and we all talked about it, and then here we are.
It all started in college. Like everything, all of our journey, it was just so, it was meant to be. It was in alignment. Like us, first of all, finding each other and staying together, because first day roommates never left each other's side. And then all of our journeys just seemed so much in alignment, even with the Yoni Steam and finding out about that, just everything. So once we all got in something, we were all with it. We were like, yes. I mean, this makes so much sense.
I would say it makes sense. Like, it's science, you know. A lot of the Dr. Sebi stuff is pure science. Like, people just think that he just is talking out of his butt, but he's really not. Like, it's
he has results.
Right. Like I said earlier, your body is a test tube, literally, and what you put in it is going to throw off that pH. And like she mentioned earlier, the body feeds, or the sickness feeds off of mucus. So yeah, it made sense.
All right, so you ladies offer a great range of services and products, and it's not anything that you all are like kind of scared to do. You know, they will take on anything. You know,
any suggestion that you have or something you want to try, we are like open to it all. It's all about you being open to and not being afraid to contact us. Like I will FaceTime you. I'll talk to you on the phone. It doesn't matter. I'm free to it all. It's just be clear about what you want when you come.
And I will tell you, like, ordering the products and everything is good, but the service of them coming to you, that's just a vibe. That whole vibe is just worth the experience.
Or you coming to us.
It's worth the experience. It's definitely a safe zone for women. We don't have a lot of those nowadays, especially the black woman doesn't have a lot of safe zones. A lot of the times, you know, as women, we get the negative stigmas and, you know, we can't get along, but this is a safe place for women. And drop the links. Where can the people find you so they can get in contact with y'all?
Instagram is @EsteemHer. Snapchat
and spell Esteem.
Yes.
@EsteemHer, so it's ESTEAMHER. That's EsteemHer. That's also our Twitter link as well. Our Facebook is @DIVINEHERESTEAM. I don't know why I'm doing this with my fingers.
And on our Facebook, you can book steams with us through Facebook.
Awesome. So if you want to take advantage of the holistic healing, you go to the doctors every month and, you know, they give you a whole bunch of medication that's not working and you want to try something different, definitely contact these young ladies. They told you at Her Esteem, right? That's what it was, at Her Esteem on Instagram.
Oh, no. @EsteemHer.
I always get it messed up. It's Her Esteem on Facebook.
Because he wouldn't let us do it, so we had to switch it up.
Right.
You know how that goes.
Well, it's @EsteemHer on Instagram. So definitely check these ladies out. And they're going to show me how to do a candle, like ear candling, because that's another service that you all offer. So they're going to show me how to do that. I'm going to let them unwrap me, and then we're going to show you how to do it.